Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Biorhythm Yoga. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to I'm just going to put the volume down. Today we're going to do a root clearing. So your root is at the base of your spine, it's your legs, it's your feet. And this activation is going to be grounding. So helping you center yourself exactly where you are in your life on earth. So often we want to rush, move quickly, get to the destination. Can you be here right now? Right where you are, exactly where you're meant to be. Plant your feet right underneath your hip bones. So not the edges of your hips, but your hip bones that run through the center of your legs in a number 11 parallel to one another. So your toes are not pointing outwards or inwards, they're perfectly parallel. Inhale, bend into your knees and press up through your feet, through your legs. Shine your hips straight forward and grow long through your spine. Bring your palms towards the outer edges of the room, bringing your shoulder blades together onto your back, and then just relax your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, and breathe. Breathe into your belly, let your belly expand, and let your shoulders be heavy. Inhale through your nose, and out through your nose. Lift the crown of your head, drawing your neck back slightly, in line with the rest of your spine. Imagine your shoulders are heavy and drawing away from your ears. Feel the weight of your body through your whole spine, center of gravity, feet, and to the earth. Affirm to yourself, I'm safe to be here now. And let your mind be open to the present moment. Bend into your knees. Inhale, scoop your arms up and overhead. Lengthen your legs. Bring your palms together and exhale down through heart center. Bring your thumbs to meet your sternum and hold your hands here. Press into your palms as you press your shoulder blades together onto your back. Take a moment to bow into your heart, acknowledging yourself. And just send yourself gratitude, like a little conversation you're having with yourself where you say thank you. Thank you for coming here onto your mat so that you can practice connecting with yourself. Bow into your heart center. And then inhale, lift your head, let your arms fall to the sides of your body. Let your palms face forward, opening up your chest and your heart. Slightly reduce the curve in your low back by shining your hips forward. Rock onto your heels slightly, lifting your toes. The ball mounds of your feet can stay on the earth, but feel your arches of your feet lift while your toes lift. Then plant your toes, slightly rocking forward. You can slightly lift your heels up off the ground. Then rock back onto your heels, lift your toes, lift your arches. Ball mounds stay planted. And then rock forward, plant your toes, lift your heels slightly. Continue to do this, rocking backwards now, lifting your toes, lifting your arches. Inhale. And exhale, rock forward, plant your toes, lift your heels slightly. Try to keep your feet square on the ground so you're not rocking to the left or outer edges or the inner edges of your feet. So stay square on both edges of your feet. Follow your breath. So this is just helping you feel into your feet, your foundation, where you can root your strength. Modern day shoes keep our toes pointed, but they're meant to be spread so that they can help us grip the earth, find stability, and that way, if we have stability in our feet, we don't have other parts of our bodies trying to compensate for that lack of stability. If you're rocking a little faster like I was, see if you can slow it down. Slow your breath down. Finding your balance in the unbalanced. Come into stillness in your feet. Bend into your knees. Scoop your arms. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees here and let your head and rest of your spine hang. Your arms can hang and touch the ground in front of you. And if they can't reach, bend your knees a little bit more. Or you can grab your elbows and sway slightly side to side. See if you can shine the back of your thighs towards the wall behind you just a little bit more, maintaining a micro bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your neck back and your shoulder blades back. Hands can be on your shins, knees, or thighs. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands with your knees bent. Slowly walk your hands forward into an inverted V, downward facing dog. Bring your shoulder blades together behind you. With your knees slightly bent, shine your hips up and back. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, H-A. Let's do that one more time. Let yourself sigh. Bring your knees as wide as your mat. Untuck your toes. Bring your big toes together. Sit your hips back towards your heels and extend your arms out in front of you or alongside your hips. This is your child's pose. Rest your forehead on the mat. Just take some relaxing breaths here. Deep and slow breathing, consciously tapping in to each and every moment of your experience. Affirm to yourself, I am safe to be here now. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Curl your toes under. Inhale, scoop your spine, lifting your tailbone, lifting your head, dropping your belly. Inhale. This is your cow pose, and exhale, curve your spine towards the ceiling. Your tailbone tucks, gaze looks towards your knees. This is your cat pose. Inhale, back to cow. And exhale, back to cat. Inhale to cow. Slow your breath. Feel your heart rate. And exhale back to cat. If your breath is a little faster or a little slower, that's okay. Follow your own unique flow. On your next inhale, really shine your chest forward. Feel your heart expanding with your lungs. And exhale, curve your spine, press into your shoulder blades and feel a juicy stretch through your upper back. Inhale back to cat, or back to cow, and exhale back to cat. Come into a neutral spine, your tabletop position. Make sure your hands are really plugged into your mat here. So just like with our feet, we are making sure that we're not leaning too much on our outer edges or on our inner edges, but equally grounded. And what that means, to press the index finger mound into the mat, you might really need to sort of claw your fingers. So your hands don't need to be flat. They can be kind of gripped to really press in the foundations of your palm, the four corners. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders and just paw your hands like a cat pawing into the mat, clawing your fingers and really feeling the foundation of the edges of your hands. Rock to the outer edge, lifting the inner edge up off the mat. And then rock to the inner edge, lifting your pinky side up off the mat. Inhale, lift your inner edge off the mat. And exhale, lift the outer edges of your hands off the mat. Inhale, inner edges, lift. Exhale, outer edges, lift. Continue pulsing like this with your breath. And see if you can not dump all your weight into your hands, but use your hands to support your upper chest. While you feel the stability that you can ground through your hands and the earth. Come into stillness in your hands and sit back, sit your hips back onto your feet, toes stay curled under. This is your thunderbolt posture. Bring your palms to your chest, shoulder blades back together and down. Breathe into your belly. Now you don't have to put all of your weight onto your toes. If this is painful, you can stay up as much as you need to, so never move into pain. And breathe. Lift up onto your knees. You can let your hands come down to your sides. If you have blocks, or if you need stacked books, or any kind of furniture beside you for support, grab onto that now. Have them by your hips. And extend your right foot out in front of you. Flex your right foot so that your foot is back, your toes are pointed back towards your face. You're still high onto your left knee. If you need extra support for your knees, you can roll the inside of your mat for a little extra cushion. So extend your right foot out in front of you. Toes are flexed back towards your face. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, step onto your right foot. Lunge into your right leg. Make sure your knee doesn't pass your ankle. Inhale. Exhale back, forward fold. Inhale forward. Exhale back. So these are your half Hanuman pulsations. Continue to pulse with your breath. Feeling the stretch in the back of your leg when you exhale. And in the front of your left hip when you inhale. Opening up the hips and the legs. And shine your heart forward with every inhale. Feel that expansion in your chest. And with every exhale, feel your leg stretch even longer. On your next exhale, bring your knee back to meet the other and extend your left leg out in front of you. Once again, if you need to, roll the edge of your mat for extra knee support. Back toes are still curled under. Left toes are pointing towards the face. Inhale, lunge forward into your right leg, into your left leg, and feel the stretch in your right hip. Inhale and exhale back. Forward fold over your leg, toes are flexed towards the face. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Continue pulsing with your breath. Opening up your hips and your hamstrings. See if you can slow your breathing down, deepen it. Let your belly expand. Let your heart and chest expand. And feel the blood coursing through your veins. The strength and resilience of your heart. On your next exhale, bring your knee back to meet your other knee. Untuck your toes. Let your knees fall wider than your mat. Big toes together, child's pose. And just rest your forehead on the mat. Take some deep breaths. Feel your mid and low back expanding with your breath. Feel your tailbone rooted to the ground even though it's not touching. Gravity holding you to your mat. A loving force. Take a few more breaths here. Letting yourself rest. When we honor rest, we allow ourselves to be exactly where we are. Feel grounded and ready to tackle what we need to, when we need to. Bring your knees together. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under, and press up and back into downward facing dog. Inverted V. Make sure your spine is straight. Shoulder blades keeping strong behind you, letting your heart melt towards the earth. Feel your tailbone lift and rise, maybe coming up high onto the ball mounds of your feet. Inhale, lift your right foot back behind you. And exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your left heel at a 45-degree angle. Keeping your left hand on the inside of your right foot, rotate towards the right side of the room. And see if you can slightly straighten your front foot. Maybe lifting your toes, activating those arches and planting into those four corners. This is your evolved triangle. Breathe into your outer hip. We're stretching and strengthening our legs here. When we sit all day, we don't honor all that our thighs and hips and legs can do. Can you breathe into them now without forcing them into any position? Can you honor them? If you can, look up towards your fingertips. Bend into your front knee. Exhale, plant your hands around your front foot and step back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here and breathe. Let your head hang with gravity. Let your heart melt towards the earth. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right heel to a 45-degree angle. With your right hand on the inside of your left foot, begin to rotate towards the left side of the room. And point your fingers up toward your left hand up towards the sky. If you can, begin to straighten your front leg, maybe even lifting your toes to provide stability through 4 corners of your feet. Breathe. Remember your breath. Feel the juicy, beautiful stretch along the left side of your body. And if you can, look up towards your left fingertips. Maintain a micro bend in your front knee so it's never hyperextended back. This protects you from collapsing into your knees. We always maintain a strong and sturdy micro bend to protect our joints. Exhale, plant your hands around your front foot, step back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. You can pedal your feet out. You can come into stillness. Do what you need to do to feel what you need to feel in this pose. When you're ready, with your knees bent, walk your hands or your feet towards each other into a forward fold. Let your upper half hang while your legs support you. Once again, maintaining a micro bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your neck back and exhale, forward fold. Bend into your knees. Inhale, lift. Arms come up and overhead. And exhale, palms down through heart center and alongside your hips. We're gonna come now into chair pose. So bring your feet a little bit closer together than hip width. Hip width is about here, so we're gonna come just a little closer, not quite touching. Make sure you're grounded through the 4 corners of your feet. So once again, lift your toes. Gently lower them down while maintaining that active arch. Bend into your knees, and as you do, sit your hips down. Arms come up beside your ears, shoulder blades together onto your back. Chair pose. Breathe into your low belly and feel your tailbone rooting down towards the earth. Put a little bit of a shift in your weight towards your heels, just slightly, and see if you can sit a little bit lower into your chair. Beautiful. Inhale, come up, straightening your legs, palms together. Exhale, palms down through heart center. And alongside your hips, just breathe here. You can bring your stance back to a natural stance underneath your hips. Let your shoulders relax and just breathe with your eyes closed. Let your belly expand. Your shoulders and face relax. And lift slightly through the crown of your head, straightening your neck. Turn towards the wide edge of your mat and bring your feet wider than hip width apart. Your toes should be pointing to a 45-degree angle, so to the corners of your mat or your room. And with your hip bones shining forward, so a slight tuck in your tailbone. Not so that your tailbone's pointing forward, but so that it's pointing down rather than back. Begin to sit into a slight seat here. Bring your arms up into goalposts or cactus arms. Twist your pinkies towards your face, opening up through the chest. Breathe into your belly. Let your belly expand, just like a Buddha. And feel your strength. This is your goddess pose. We're going to hold this for 7 seconds. 3, 4, 6, 7, and then we're gonna pulse for 7. 1, 2, many little pulses. 3, breathe. 4, 6, 7, and then slowly for 7, come up to stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. Turn your toes inwards slightly of your heels. Just slightly. Bend your knees with your shoulder blades back, shoulders relaxed and down. Palms at your heart center and slightly bent knees. Maintain a straight back as you forward fold. And then let your upper half hang into a wide-legged forward fold. With your knees bent, let your torso hang even further towards the earth. And then from here, see if you can magnetize the back of your thighs towards the wall behind you, giving you more of stretch through the back of your legs and through your mid-back. Let your arms hang. You can let them touch the earth, or you can hold your elbows. Breathe. Walk your hands right underneath your shoulders. Lift to a halfway point, drawing your neck back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walk your hands towards your left foot, and slightly using your hands, give yourself a little pull towards your left leg. Never forcing, always get gently guiding, and breathe. Inhale, walk your way back to center and fold. And then walk yourself to your right foot. Inhale. And exhale, slightly, gently pull yourself towards your right leg. And breathe. Walk yourself back to center. Shift your feet towards one another until they're right underneath your hips and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Come up to rise. And exhale, palms down through your heart center and alongside your hips. Come to a seated position on your mat. facing the wide edge of your mat. We're going to do a seated wide-legged forward fold. So just the seated version of what we just did. Bring your legs apart, feet flexed, toes pointing towards your face. And make sure your tailbone is grounded into the earth. So you might need to take your glutes and just shift them back so you can root your sitting bones down. If you need to maintain a bend in your knees, you can even put books or blocks under your knees if you need to. And inhale, grow long through your torso. Lift the crown of your head like you've got a string coming out of the crown of your head, running through your spine. And exhale with your shoulder blades behind you. Just begin to slightly walk yourself forward, chest and heart shining open. Let your gaze follow the line of your heart. Breathe here for a moment. Feel the length of your spine. With every inhale growing long and every exhale folding just a bit more. Maintain that openness through your chest. And then on your next exhale, walk your hands as far forward as they can and let your gaze point down towards the mat. Slowly walk yourself back, just slightly, and bring your left forearm to the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, reach your right arm up and overhead, reaching towards the left side of the room. Breathe here. Feel the stretch into the left side of your body. And then slowly come to center. Inhale, grow long. And exhale, drop your right elbow to the inside of your right thigh. Lift your left arm up and overhead, reaching towards the right side of the room. Breathe. Your palm can be facing the earth or it can be facing outwards. Notice the difference. How the positioning of your hand can change, where in your side you feel the stretch. Never forcing, always guiding. Let yourself breathe here. Walk yourself back up to neutral. Bring your left foot in. And just shift yourself back onto your mat. So you can stay with your right knee out alongside your hip, facing forward, just like this. This is your deer pose. Your right foot should be just outside of your right knee, so not inwards, but just outside of your right knee. And you can stay like this, or you can bring your right shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. Flex your toes back towards your knee and begin to melt over your front leg. So this is your deer pose. Breathe into the left side of your hip, your outer glute. And if you can stack your fists and rest your head on your fists. Now you can stay right here, or you can stay seated up, or you can have your foot, of course, just a little bit more in towards your hip. But if this isn't enough of a stretch for you in your outer left hip and you want a bit more, you can bring that right leg underneath you, toes curled under, and you can either have your foot towards your hip or you can have it a little out more parallel with the front of your mat into your pigeon. So instead of deer pose, if deer pose isn't enough for you, you can get a bit more of a stretch in pigeon by positioning your hips square with the front of the room. There's sleeping pigeon where you can fold over your front leg and even rest your head on your double fists or single fists in sleeping pigeon. Breathe into your outer hip. And really activate the back of your straight leg, radiating energy out of your heel. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and extend your left leg back. From a half plank, lower yourself down, untuck your toes, press into your hands, slight back bend, and then melt your heart back down towards the earth. Press up through tabletop. Shift your right knee forward and sit onto your right glute. With your left knee out beside your left hip, bring your left foot just outside of your left knee. So it's not inwards, it's a little bit outwards. You can stay here with your right foot towards your hip, or you can bring your right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Flex your right toes to your right knee. This is your deer pose. You can come down into a sleeping deer, I'm not sure if that's what it's called, where you just fold over your front leg. You can stay supported on your elbows, or you can rest your head on your stacked fists and breathe here. If you want more of a stretch through your right outer hip, you can shift the left leg, which is out alongside you, to underneath you, toes curled under. You can keep your right foot in close to your left hip, or you can begin to point it out outwards with your shin parallel to the front of your mat. You can come down onto your elbows if you're able to into a sort of sleeping pigeon, or even stack your head onto your fists. Breathe into your outer hip and strengthen the back of your left extended leg if you're in pigeon. Radiate your energy out of your left heel. Make sure your neck is in line with your spine. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your right foot back and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Come forward into high plank. You can drop your knees if you need to. Tuck your elbows into your sides and lower down. Chaturanga. From here, bring your right knee out alongside your hip. Once again, have your foot wider than your knee. And let your head turn to the left side of the room, resting it on your hands. This is your half frog pose. Allow yourself to breathe here. Use your right hand to press into the earth, rolling onto your left side slightly so you can straighten your right leg. Roll onto your tummy and then onto your right side slightly so you can bring your left knee out alongside your hip and your left foot slightly past your left knee. Put your head on your hands, resting your left temple or your left ear towards the earth. Looking to the right side of the room and engaging in a slight twist. This is your half frog pose. Allow yourself to breathe here. Press your left hand into the earth, rolling onto your right side slightly so you can straighten your left leg. And gently roll onto your back. From here, let your feet go limp to the sides of the room. Bring your shoulder blades onto your back slightly, opening up through the heart and letting your palms flip open towards the sky. Take a moment to rest here, feeling the length through your spine, gravity holding you to the earth. Draw your neck towards the mat, lifting the crown of your head just slightly. Step your feet towards your glutes. And just see if you can scoot your tailbone down without shifting your chest. Bring your left heel your left ankle over your right knee and gently let your left foot fall to the right side. You can bring your arms and goalposts alongside you and turn your head to the opposite direction. Breathe here. Feel the expanding in your chest as you twist. Twists are beautiful detoxing poses. And this gentle twist helps you almost wring out your spine from anything you're holding on to. Make sure your left shoulder blade is grounded onto the earth. Inhale, bring your knees towards your belly. Come into a neutral spine. Exhale, give your knees a squeeze and rock from side to side. Let yourself breathe. Giving your kidneys a little massage. Also helping you detox. And just let yourself enjoy this for a moment. Let your left foot come towards the earth, close to your glutes. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then drop your right foot towards the earth. Arms come out into goalposts. Your right shoulder blade is heavy, and you can turn your head towards the right. Breathe into this twist. Maybe you're noticing that one side was easier than another. Know that that is perfectly perfect, or perfectly imperfect if you want to call it that. But you are exactly where you need to be. Can you notice without judgment? And let yourself breathe into this pose. Can you make your breath audible to yourself? Inhale your knees towards your belly, coming into a neutral spine. Exhale, give yourself a squeeze and rock from side to side. Let yourself breathe. Can you let your spine relax to the earth, knowing it is supported? And just breathe. Extend your legs out in front of you. Once again, wider than hip width apart and falling to the sides of the room. Just let your hips stay open. Shoulder blades come together. Tailbone scoots down a little. And see if you can bring your neck towards the mat slightly, lifting the crown of your head. Place your hands wherever it feels natural. For me right now, it's on my thighs. It can be on your hips, your stomach, maybe one on your stomach, one on your heart. Maybe two on your heart or alongside your body. Whatever feels natural and good for you right now. When your palms face upwards, it is inviting new energy into your field. And when your palms are faced inwards towards yourself, it's a moment to come into your own energy. Notice which you naturally were drawn to. Without judgment, just notice. Notice your breathing. Notice your body. Think about what it feels like instead of what it looks like. What sensations can you feel now? Can you relax your face, your eyes, your eyebrows, every muscle of your cheeks? As if you're melting like a puddle. Let gravity support every part of you, from your bones to your skin. Think to yourself, I am safe to be here now. Let your breath allow you to feel whole in this moment. You are perfect. You are whole. You don't have to do anything to be something or someone. Can you notice that this is who you are? The consciousness behind the actions, even behind your name. You are undefinable. You are imperfectly perfect, just as you are, You are beautiful. Relish in your own existence for a moment. And if your mind slips away, bring it back to where you are right now. And once again, relish in the here and now, the beauty of existing. Can you feel it? Keep bringing your mind back to where you are right now. Practice letting yourself just be and worry about the future or the past later. Right now, give yourself permission to be here. Slowly bring your feet together and your hands together above your head and stretch your body as long as you can, all the way from your fingertips to the tips of your toes. And then roll over onto your right side. Give yourself time. No rush. Rest your right ear on your right bicep and just lay on your right side for a moment. And when you're ready, press into your hands and come up to a seated position on your mat. Lean forward, shift your glutes back, or even use your hands to shift your glutes back so you can root down through your tailbone, your sitting bones, and lift tall through your spine, through the crown of your head. For a moment, inhale your shoulders forward, up. Inhale, squeeze them towards your ears, and exhale, bring them back and down, relaxing them away from your ears. Let yourself breathe into your belly coming out into your lap like the happy Buddha, and exhale. Affirm to yourself again. You can even say it out loud. I am safe to be here now. I am safe to be here now. I am safe to be here now. Bring your palms to heart center. Press into your hands. Opening up through the chest. Bow into your heart. And give yourself gratitude. Say thank you for taking the time to connect with yourself. Feel yourself receive that thank you, that gratitude in a beautiful feedback loop. You always have access to your relationship with yourself. Sometimes we forget that. Please remember to honor your beauty, your love, your light. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Take care.